Have you ever wondered how a place that rarely makes international headlines can quietly hold the key to an entire region's future? Far away from Indonesia's largest cities, beyond the crowded streets of Jakarta and the booming skylines of Surabaya and Makassar, lies a land where mountains meet the sea, where generations have lived in harmony with nature, and where resilience has become a way of life. This is North Gorontalo Regency, a place that many people have never heard of, yet one that represents the true heartbeat of eastern Indonesia. At first glance, North Gorontalo may appear to be just another coastal district on the island of Sulawesi. But the moment you begin to understand its story, you realize that this is far more than a collection of villages surrounded by forests and oceans. It is a young region carrying centuries of history, immense natural wealth, and the hopes of more than 130,000 people who continue to build a brighter future with determination and pride. Officially established on January 2nd, 2007, under Indonesian Law number 11 of 2007, North Gorontalo became the third administrative division created from the larger Gorontalo Regency. Its formation was not simply a matter of drawing new boundaries on a map. It represented the aspirations of local communities who believed that bringing government closer to the people would create faster development, better public services, stronger infrastructure, and greater opportunities for future generations. The Regency's capital, Kwandang, stands as the administrative and economic centre of this growing region. While it may not possess towering skyscrapers or massive industrial zones, Kwandang symbolises something far more meaningful. It is a place where local leadership, community cooperation, and regional ambition come together to shape the future of an entire regency. Today, North Gorontalo covers approximately 1,703 square kilometres and is home to more than 132,000 residents. Spread across 11 districts and 123 villages, its population density remains relatively low compared to many other parts of Indonesia. This creates a unique balance between human settlement and the surrounding natural environment, allowing forests, farmland, rivers and coastlines to remain essential parts of daily life. The geography of North Gorontalo tells an extraordinary story. To the north stretches the vast Sulawesi Sea, opening direct maritime access toward regional and international waters. To the east lies North Bolang Mongondo Regency in North Sulawesi Province. The southern border connects with Boalemo Regency, Gorontalo Regency, and Bone Bolango Regency, while the western frontier reaches Buol Regency in central Sulawesi Province. This strategic position places North Gorontalo at an important crossroads within northern Sulawesi. It serves as a bridge connecting multiple provinces while simultaneously providing access to valuable marine resources that have sustained coastal communities for generations. Yet geography alone does not define North Gorontalo. Its greatest strength has always been its people. Across fishing villages, farming communities, and growing town centres, life continues to revolve around cooperation, family, and tradition. Long before modern administrative borders existed, these communities had already developed systems of mutual support that enabled them to survive changing seasons, economic uncertainty, and natural challenges. Every sunrise brings fishermen toward the open sea, while farmers begin another day cultivating fertile land that has fed local families for generations. Children walk to school carrying dreams that reach far beyond their villages, while parents work tirelessly to ensure that those dreams become reality. This spirit of perseverance has become one of North Gorontalo's defining characteristics. Unlike regions that experienced rapid industrial expansion fueled by large urban investments, North Gorontalo has grown gradually through the dedication of ordinary people who continue to believe that meaningful progress is built step by step. Every new road shortens travel time between villages. Every new school opens doors for future leaders. Every health clinic brings life-saving care closer to remote communities. Every successful harvest strengthens food security for thousands of families. Every fishing boat returning safely to shore represents another victory against uncertainty. Development here is measured not only by economic statistics, but also by the quiet improvements that transform everyday life. Since becoming an independent regency, North Gorontalo has continued expanding public administration while strengthening governance across all 11 districts. Local government works together with village leaders to improve infrastructure, education, healthcare, agriculture, fisheries, and disaster preparedness. While challenges remain, decentralisation has allowed policies to better reflect local priorities and community needs. The Regency's Representative Council continues to evolve through democratic elections, reflecting the changing political landscape and increasing civic participation among residents. This democratic process plays an important role in ensuring that development is guided by public aspirations rather than distant decision makers. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of North Gorontalo is not found inside government offices or official reports. It is found in the determination of its people to move forward despite limitations. Like many developing regions across Indonesia, North Gorontalo faces complex challenges. Infrastructure continues to improve, but remains uneven in certain remote areas. Employment opportunities are expanding, yet many young people still seek higher education and specialised careers outside the Regency before returning home to contribute their skills. Healthcare services continue to expand, with hospitals, community health centres and vaccination programs reaching thousands of residents. Schools continue educating children across every district despite geographical barriers. Farmers continue adapting to changing weather patterns. Fishermen continue navigating unpredictable seas. These are not stories of weakness, they are stories of resilience, because every community that continues moving forward, despite obstacles, develops a strength that cannot be measured by numbers alone. North Gorontalo is still writing its future. It is a region where opportunity and responsibility grow together, a place where nature provides extraordinary abundance, yet human determination remains the greatest resource of all. And as you journey deeper into this remarkable corner of Indonesia, you will discover that behind every statistic lies a family. Behind every village lies a story. Behind every coastline lies a livelihood. Behind every field lies generations of hard work. And behind every step of progress lies a community that refuses to stop believing that tomorrow can always become better than today. From the air, North Gorontalo looks like a masterpiece painted by nature itself. Its coastline stretches along the deep blue waters of the Sulawesi Sea, while hills and fertile valleys rise gently inland. Rivers carve their way through forests and farmland before eventually meeting the ocean, creating landscapes that have supported human life for centuries. This is not a place where nature exists merely as scenery. Here, nature is the foundation of everything. It feeds families, it shapes traditions, it determines the rhythm of every season. It defines the identity of an entire region. The Regency consists of 11 districts, each with its own unique character, history, and contribution to local development. Kwandang serves as the administrative heart, where government offices, schools, markets, and public services are concentrated. As the largest population centre, with more than 25,000 residents, It functions as the primary gateway connecting surrounding communities with economic and administrative opportunities. Further west lies Anggrek, a district known for its agricultural activities and its strategic coastal location. Nearby, Atingala marks the eastern gateway into Gorontalo province for travellers arriving from North Sulawesi, becoming both a transportation corridor and an important economic link between provinces. Gentuma Raya, Monano, Tomalito, Tolinggula, Sumalata, Sumalata Timur, Biau, and the island district of Ponelo, Kepulauan, each contribute their own strengths, from fisheries and farming to coastal tourism and traditional village life. Together, these districts form a network of communities that rely on one another. No single district carries the region alone. Instead, progress depends on cooperation across villages, families, and local institutions. This spirit of interconnectedness reflects one of Indonesia's oldest cultural values: mutual cooperation. Working together not because it is required, but because shared success benefits everyone. As North Gorontalo continues to develop, its population also tells an encouraging story. In the middle of 2024, the Regency recorded more than 132,000 residents. Interestingly, the population remains relatively young. Nearly 65% of residents fall within the productive working age of 15 to 64 years old. This represents an enormous demographic opportunity. A young workforce means greater potential for entrepreneurship, greater innovation, greater productivity, and greater economic growth. If supported with quality education, vocational training, healthcare, and employment opportunities, this generation could become the driving force behind one of the most significant transformations in the region's history. Yet demographics are never just numbers. Every statistic represents real people. Young students studying under classroom lights while dreaming of becoming doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, or scientists. Parents sacrificing comfort to ensure their children receive a better education than they once had. Grandparents passing down traditions, stories, and values that cannot be found in textbooks. This connection between generations creates a remarkable social fabric. Modern aspirations continue to grow without abandoning cultural identity. Religion also plays an essential role in daily life. The overwhelming majority of residents are Muslim, living peacefully alongside Christian, Catholic, Hindu, Buddhist, and other faith communities. Hundreds of mosques, prayer halls, churches, and places of worship stand across the Regency, reflecting not only religious devotion, but also the spirit of coexistence that has characterized Indonesian society for generations. Faith here is not simply expressed through rituals, it is reflected in generosity, hospitality, respect for neighbours, care for the elderly, and responsibility toward future generations. Visitors often discover that one of North Gorontalo's greatest treasures cannot be photographed. It is the warmth of its people. Guests are welcomed not as strangers, but as friends. Meals become conversations. Conversations become friendships. Friendships become lasting memories. This genuine hospitality has remained one of Indonesia's strongest cultural strengths, particularly in regions where community relationships continue to shape everyday life. At the same time, North Gorontalo is steadily becoming more connected to the rest of Indonesia. Road improvements have shortened travel times between districts. Public facilities continue expanding. Digital communication reaches villages that were once relatively isolated. Markets have become more accessible for farmers and fishermen seeking better prices for their products. These developments may seem ordinary when viewed individually, but together they create powerful momentum. Imagine a farmer who once spent several hours transporting crops over damaged roads. A smoother road means lower transportation costs, less spoiled produce, higher income, greater financial security for the family. Imagine a student who previously struggled to access educational resources. Reliable internet suddenly opens the door to online learning, university lectures, digital libraries, and global knowledge. Imagine a fisherman who can now receive weather forecasts before heading into the sea. Better information can mean safer journeys and more successful catches. This is how development changes lives, not through headlines, not through dramatic announcements, but through thousands of small improvements that quietly reshape everyday experiences. North Gorontalo's strategic location also gives it enormous long-term potential. Facing the Sulawesi Sea, the regency occupies an important maritime position within eastern Indonesia. Its coastal waters contain abundant marine resources that have supported local livelihoods for generations. Fishing remains far more than an occupation. It is a tradition, a source of identity, a connection between families and the sea that stretches back countless generations. Long before satellite navigation or modern fishing vessels existed, local fishermen relied on experience, observation, and inherited knowledge to understand tides, currents, seasonal winds, and fish migration patterns. That wisdom continues to be passed from one generation to the next. Even as technology evolves, traditional knowledge remains invaluable. It reminds us that sustainable development is strongest when modern innovation works alongside local experience rather than replacing it. The same principle applies across North Gorontalo. Its future will not be built by abandoning its roots. It will be built by strengthening them, by combining education with tradition, technology with local wisdom, economic growth with environmental protection, infrastructure with cultural preservation. Because the greatest regions in the world are never those that forget where they came from. They are the ones that understand their history while confidently building their future. And in North Gorontalo, that future is only beginning to unfold. The true strength of North Gorontalo is not hidden beneath its mountains or scattered along its coastline. It grows from the soil. It rises with the tides. It is harvested under the tropical sun every single day. Agriculture, forestry and fisheries form the backbone of the local economy, contributing nearly half of the Regency's gross regional domestic product. In 2024, these sectors generated approximately 2.93 trillion rupiah, accounting for about 46.7% of North Gorontalo's economy. That figure is more than an economic statistic. It represents thousands of families waking before sunrise, thousands of hands planting seeds, thousands of boats leaving the shore before dawn, thousands of people whose dedication keeps food on tables, not only within the Regency, but also across other parts of Indonesia. Among all agricultural products, one crop stands above the rest: corn. North Gorontalo harvested more than 221,000 tons of corn in 2024 from over 32,000 hectares of farmland. The scale is remarkable for a regency of this size. During harvest season, fields that once appeared as endless shades of green gradually transform into seas of golden crops stretching toward the horizon. Trucks, motorcycles, and farmers work together to transport the harvest, creating one of the busiest periods of the year. For many families, the success of a single harvest determines whether children can continue their education, whether homes can be repaired, and whether savings can be built for the future. Corn is not simply an agricultural commodity, it is hope growing from the earth. Rice also remains an essential pillar of food security. Thousands of hectares of irrigated and rain-fed rice fields produce enough grain to support local communities while strengthening regional food resilience. Although rice production is smaller than corn production, its importance cannot be measured only by volume. Across Indonesia, rice represents stability. It represents tradition. It represents the daily meal shared by millions of families. North Gorontalo proudly contributes to that national food system. Beyond staple crops, farmers cultivate cassava, peanuts, soybeans, tomatoes, chili peppers, onions, bananas, mangoes, durians, papayas, and medicinal plants such as ginger. This agricultural diversity protects communities from relying on a single commodity, while creating opportunities for local markets and small businesses. Each crop has its own growing season. Each harvest has its own challenges. Too much rain can damage production. Too little rainfall can reduce yields. Rising temperatures, changing climate patterns, and fluctuating market prices constantly test the resilience of farmers. Yet, year after year, they continue planting. Because farming has always been an act of faith. You prepare the land without knowing exactly what tomorrow will bring. You invest months of effort before seeing the first results. You trust nature while working tirelessly to improve every opportunity. That quiet perseverance deserves far greater recognition than it often receives. The plantation sector adds another layer to North Gorontalo's economic strength. More than 9,200 hectares of coconut plantations produce thousands of tons annually, making coconuts one of the region's signature commodities. Rows of coconut trees line coastal landscapes, their towering silhouettes becoming part of North Gorontalo's identity. But coconuts are only the beginning. Cloves flourish across more than 3,200 hectares. Cocoa plantations continue producing high-quality beans. Coffee, nutmeg, candle nuts, and areca nuts all contribute to local livelihoods. Each commodity connects North Gorontalo to national and international markets. Each shipment represents countless hours of labor performed far from major cities, often under intense tropical heat. The agricultural economy here is powered not by massive corporations alone, but by thousands of smallholder farmers. Entire families participate in planting, harvesting, drying, sorting, and transporting crops. Knowledge passes naturally from parents to children. Farming techniques evolve slowly through experience, observation, and adaptation. While mechanization continues to expand, much of North Gorontalo's agriculture still depends on human skill and determination. This creates both opportunities and challenges. Modern equipment can increase productivity. Improved irrigation can reduce vulnerability to drought. Better storage facilities can minimize post-harvest losses. Access to digital markets can connect farmers directly with buyers, increasing profits while reducing dependence on middlemen. These are the next frontiers of agricultural development. Yet, if the land feeds North Gorontalo, the sea gives it another extraordinary gift. Facing the Sulawesi Sea, the regency possesses abundant marine resources that have sustained coastal communities for generations. In 2024, marine capture fisheries produced nearly 22,000 tons of seafood. Aquaculture added more than 2,400 tons through fish ponds, cages, and coastal farming systems. More than 3,000 fishermen depend directly on the ocean for their livelihoods. Every morning, before the first rays of sunlight illuminate the horizon, boats begin leaving the shore. Some are equipped with engines, others remain simple traditional vessels. Their destinations vary, but their purpose remains the same: to provide for their families, to return safely, to continue a tradition older than written history. Life at sea demands extraordinary courage. Fishermen face unpredictable weather, changing currents, powerful waves, and uncertain catches. Some days reward them generously, other days return little despite hours of hard work. Yet they continue because resilience has become part of their identity. Fishing is not merely an occupation, it is a partnership between humanity and nature, a partnership built on respect. Because experienced fishermen understand a simple truth: if the ocean is protected today, it will continue feeding future generations tomorrow. Sustainable fishing practices therefore become essential not only for protecting marine biodiversity, but also for safeguarding economic security. Healthy coral reefs support healthy fish populations. Healthy mangrove forests protect coastlines from erosion while serving as nurseries for countless marine species. Clean coastal waters benefit tourism, fisheries, and public health simultaneously. Environmental conservation is not separate from economic development. In North Gorontalo, the two are inseparable. Ports such as Anggrek also play an increasingly important role in regional trade. Agricultural products and fisheries move through these transportation networks toward markets across Sulawesi and Southeast Asia. Every shipment strengthens North Gorontalo's connection with wider national and international economies. The Regency's overall economy grew by approximately 4.4% during 2024. While that growth may appear modest compared with rapidly industrializing regions, it reflects steady progress built upon real productive sectors rather than temporary economic expansion. Construction continues, improving infrastructure. Transportation services continue expanding. Accommodation and food services have recorded some of the fastest growth rates, reflecting increasing economic diversification. Small businesses remain at the heart of this transformation. Across villages and district centres, hundreds of home industries produce traditional snacks, processed agricultural products, handicrafts, and local specialities. Micro, small, and medium enterprises create employment while preserving culinary traditions and local identity. Every successful small business begins with someone's willingness to take a risk. Someone who believes their product deserves a market. Someone who refuses to let opportunity pass by. These entrepreneurs may never appear on magazine covers, but together they form the foundation of North Gorontalo's economic resilience. Because every thriving local economy begins the same way. One family, one idea, one harvest, one fishing boat, one small business. Repeated thousands of times until an entire region moves forward together. But a region cannot truly prosper through natural resources alone. The greatest investment any society can make is not in its roads, ports, or buildings. It is in its people. North Gorontalo understands this reality. Every classroom filled with curious children represents a future scientist, teacher, engineer, entrepreneur, healthcare worker, or community leader. Every student carrying a backpack to school is also carrying the dreams of an entire family that believes education can change the course of a generation. During the 2023 to 2024 academic year, the Regency was home to 131 elementary schools, 44 junior high schools, 10 senior high schools, and 6 vocational high schools. Together, these schools educate tens of thousands of young people across villages, coastal communities, and inland districts. More than 15,000 children attend elementary school, supported by over 1,000 teachers who dedicate themselves to building the foundations of literacy, mathematics, science, and character. At the junior high level, more than 6,000 students continue their education, preparing themselves for greater academic and professional challenges. Senior high schools and vocational schools together educate nearly 4,000 students, helping them develop practical skills and knowledge needed for the rapidly changing world. Education here is more than completing examinations. It is about expanding possibilities. For many families, sending a child to school requires enormous sacrifice. Parents wake before dawn to work in fields, plantations, or fishing boats. Some travel long distances each day simply to earn enough income to keep their children in school. Others postpone their own dreams so the next generation can pursue opportunities they never had. Behind every graduation ceremony stands years of quiet sacrifice that often goes unnoticed. North Gorontalo has also made encouraging progress in educational participation. The net enrolment rate for elementary education has reached nearly 99%, demonstrating that almost every child of primary school age has access to formal education. Literacy among residents aged 15 years and above has climbed above 98%, reflecting decades of continuous effort to ensure that education reaches communities throughout the Regency. Yet important challenges remain. North Gorontalo does not currently have its own university. Students seeking higher education generally continue their studies in Gorontalo City, Manado, Makassar, Java, or other parts of Indonesia. For many young people, leaving home becomes both an opportunity and a difficult decision. They leave behind their families with hopes of returning one day equipped with new knowledge and professional skills. Many do return. Some become doctors serving local hospitals. Others become teachers inspiring future generations. Some establish businesses that create employment for their neighbours. Others join government institutions dedicated to improving public services. Their journeys demonstrate that investing in education never benefits only one individual. Its impact spreads throughout entire communities. Alongside education, healthcare has become another essential pillar of North Gorontalo's development. A healthy population forms the foundation of every successful society. Without good health, education becomes more difficult, productivity declines, economic opportunities become harder to achieve. Recognising this reality, the Regency has continued strengthening its healthcare system. By 2024, North Gorontalo was served by 2 hospitals, 11 community health centres, 6 supporting health posts, several clinics, health laboratories, and dozens of integrated community health service centres, known as posyandu. These facilities form an interconnected network designed to bring healthcare closer to every village. The largest hospitals, RSUD Dr. Zainal Umar Siddiqui and RSUD Tolinggula Melayani, provide inpatient care, emergency treatment, surgical services, and specialised medical support for thousands of residents every year. Healthcare workers across the Regency perform extraordinary responsibilities. 36 general practitioners, 13 medical specialists, dentists, pharmacists, nurses, midwives, nutritionists, laboratory technicians, and many other professionals work every day to improve public health despite limited resources. In many rural communities, healthcare workers travel considerable distances to ensure that mothers receive prenatal care, children receive vaccinations, and elderly residents receive essential medical attention. Their work often begins long before sunrise and continues well into the evening. It is demanding, it is exhausting, and it is absolutely essential. Maternal and child healthcare has become one of North Gorontalo's major priorities. Thousands of pregnant women receive regular prenatal examinations each year. Most births now take place within healthcare facilities where trained professionals can provide safer delivery services and respond quickly to emergencies. This represents significant progress compared with earlier decades when medical access was much more limited in remote areas. Vaccination programs also continue protecting children against preventable diseases. Thousands of infants receive complete basic immunisations, while school-based vaccination campaigns help ensure broader protection across the younger population. Every successful vaccination represents more than a medical procedure. It represents prevention, hope, and a healthier future. At the same time, healthcare professionals continue confronting significant public health challenges. Respiratory infections remain among the most common illnesses. Hypertension affects thousands of adults. Diabetes continues increasing alongside changing lifestyles. Tuberculosis and diarrheal diseases require constant monitoring and treatment. Perhaps one of the most pressing concerns is childhood stunting. More than 1,000 children were identified with stunted growth during 2024, reminding policymakers that nutrition remains one of the most important investments a society can make. A child who receives proper nutrition during the earliest years of life gains far greater opportunities to learn, grow, and reach their full potential. Fighting stunting is therefore not only a health mission, it is an investment in the future workforce, future innovators, and future leaders of North Gorontalo. Health insurance coverage has expanded significantly as well. More than 90% of residents are now protected through Indonesia's national health insurance system, providing millions of medical services that would otherwise place enormous financial burdens on families. This achievement reflects years of cooperation between national and local governments to improve healthcare accessibility. Of course, challenges remain. The ratio of doctors to population is still higher than international recommendations, meaning that each physician carries a heavy workload. Remote communities continue facing transportation barriers. Specialized medical services remain concentrated in larger cities. Yet despite these limitations, progress continues, step by step, clinic by clinic, school by school, village by village. Because every child who learns to read, every mother who receives safe prenatal care, every patient whose illness is treated early, every graduate who returns home with new knowledge becomes another building block in North Gorontalo's future. The greatest wealth of this regency has never been measured only in hectares of farmland or tons of agricultural production. Its greatest wealth walks into classrooms every morning. Its greatest wealth wears the uniform of teachers, nurses, doctors, fishermen, farmers, and entrepreneurs. Its greatest wealth is its people, and as long as they continue learning, adapting, and believing in a better tomorrow, the future of North Gorontalo will remain brighter than its past.